Resident Evil Village. Yeah, this video took a while to get out, huh? Like many other Resident Evil games, Village has its own committed and active modding community, churning out some awesome content that keeps people coming back to the game long after its relevance is faded. Unfortunately, Capcom hasn't completely ruined modding for this game, meaning you can still install a variety of game-breaking mods to mess around with, which is exactly what I've set out to do today. I'll be taking the most ludicrous, immersion-obliterating mods, and haphazardly dumping them into my mods folder to create the ultimate immersive mod pack. So pull up your dusty old 4th of July chairs and join me in burning this game's beautifully crafted story into an unrecognizable pile of ash.
Dragon's Keep, in the highest room of the tallest tower,
for her true love, and true love's first kiss. What a nice story.
Yeah, that shit goes hard.
What are you doing in my house?
Whoops. Looks like someone forgot to take their silly pills.
See, this is why I don't f with y'all. At least the voices in my head don't gaslight me. We take the baby upstairs to put it to bed before having our domestic dispute.
Caress me, father.
If you call me that again, your bearded infant head is going out the nearest window. After putting this creature to sleep, we find that our home invader has planted some strange artwork and unfamiliar knickknacks across our house. So we head back downstairs to confront them. Alright, it's time for you and the man baby to pack your bags. Is that chicken noodle soup with all the chicken chunks meticulously picked out of it?
Mm-hmm. I know you think that... Were you really gonna try to eat scalding hot soup with your hands?
It's my house. I'll eat my chickenless chicken noodle soup however I please.
This is why you can't live alone, Ethan. You'll hurt yourself.
Hey, I know what's best for me, and right now that's for you to leave so I can finish building my time machine. Oh, are you with the IRS? I'm sorry, how many shekels do I owe you? Yes, sir. God. What? Isn't this Romania? After awakening in the snow from our blunt force trauma-induced slumber, we begin following the path forward, away from the unconscious, underwear-clad IRS agent. Walking along the path, we hear several strange noises coming from the foliage surrounding us, but we press on through this barbed wire fence which we stupidly push out of the way with our hand, nabbing a case of tetanus before the action even starts. Further up the trail, we find dozens of dead crows strung up in the branches. Fun fact, crows can actually do a really interesting thing with their vocal cords, where they... Eventually, we make entry into a house and head down the stairs, paying no mind to the horrible noises around us. Gingerly opening this cabinet, we say hello to the homeowner himself and head back upstairs. It seems that while we were downstairs, an individual hastily rearranged the furniture here and spilled Grandma's homemade strawberry jam all over the floor. What a crying shame. After spending an hour and a half eating jelly off the floor, we head outside to find that the sun has started to rise. Through this rocky opening, we spot a bird that flies away as we approach, bringing to attention the massive castle ahead of us. I don't know if there's any Romanian viewers watching this, but how many of you guys live in 17th century Gothic castles? And if not, why? We make our way down into the village and open a menu that scares the dog shit out of me. Do not enter, huh? It's gonna take more than that to stop me. We find ourselves in an area where the laws of physics do not apply. Call it a hunch, but I don't think we're supposed to be here. Well, we're in too deep now. Heading through these branch textures, we find ourselves at a cliff edge and hurl ourselves off it. We take in the lovely, low poly view of these snowy mountains until we find ourselves at a sudden drop. Or so I thought. We walk across this barren gap until we approach the mountains and cross the event horizon into the endless void at the world's edge. Just gonna... We forego opening the gates to oblivion and instead walk down the path to the left, taking in the festive decorations the locals put up as we stroll through town. Heading into this house, we nab ourselves a melee weapon and test its destructive power on a nearby crate. In the next room, we find a pot of delicious-looking green soup and check to see if there's any spices behind this curtain. Whoa, chill, man. You got any pepper?
You're not one of them, are you?
One of who?
The f***ing Chinese.
The Korean War ended 70 years ago, guy. What are you talking about?
Sugar trap. Take this. Who's that?
What are you aiming at, dude? After witnessing this man get sucked into the attic, we're then grabbed by the leg and pulled through the floorboards, where we find the entire town taking a nap together. Trying not to wake them, we move as quietly as possible, until this man jump scares us and nibbles on our fingers for not participating in nap time. We're thrown outside and face off with our attacker, who forces us to use the $2,500 handgun the old man gave us to neutralize him. We head back inside to find the floorboards mysteriously regenerated, and grab a pair of bolt cutters to open the next door. Walking into the next building, we break our ankle on these stairs, alerting the Chinese army outside to our location. After repelling their attack, we exit this building to find a blood trail leading elsewhere, and in true horror game protagonist fashion, follow it straight into another ambush. Completely overwhelmed by their numbers, we're cornered by this massive alcoholic Santa Claus until the church bell is sounded in the nick of time, and our attackers scurry away for the morning bingo event. We then foolishly pull out this arrow from our thigh, and will surely bleed out in about 5 minutes from our femoral artery. Ozzy Osbourne? What are you doing in Romania, Ozzy?
They sent me here. I don't know why. There's nothing to do but beat the bishop and draw on the dirt.
Weren't you supposed to be recording your last album this year?
The f*** are you, me bloody nun?
After being abandoned by the Prince of Darkness himself, we head forward through the now quiet town, and find a strange medallion inside this church. Just outside, several enemies emerge from the tall grass, eager to consume our remaining fingers. We make quick work of them, as well as this dude who thought he was slick spawning directly in front of my eyes. After clearing the field, we make entry to this small shack next to the gate.
Oh, please, sir, help us.
Oh, nice to meet you too.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. My name's Caitlin, and this is my grandpa.
Caitlin, how do you spell that?
K-A apostrophe.
Are your parents in drug rehab? Because they ought to be.
Who do you vote for? Ask him.
He's still upset about the 1984 election. Look, can you please open the gate for us?
I'll think about it. We leave these two survivors alone for now and mantle over the wall. After some hefty consideration, we decide to let him into the courtyard. What's his deal?
The village elder says he's ascended, burdened by a vast knowledge we can't comprehend.
And you're certain it's not late-stage dementia?
What's it, dementia?
I don't even know where to begin with that.
You're not one of them, are you? What's with the f***er without fingers?
Hey, you can't say that to a disabled person, dude.
Come, let us pray.
Oh, y'all are just letting the rabid old man in the safe house? Alright. Hey, can I leave? I got things to do.
Come, let us pray.
I really gotta get going here.
Let us pray.
1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish, black fish, blue fish, old fish, new fish.
What the hell did I get roped into?
Surely the goddess will grant us her protection now.
Oh wow, what a surprise. Hey, great shots.
Grandpa, are you okay?
Ma'am, you just blasted him to Timbuktu. It's time to leave. I'm dumbfounded you guys survived this long with your ass-backwards decision-making.
Why are you so mean?
Hey, I didn't even want to be here. I didn't ask for the heaping pile of bummer that is your family to be dumped into my life either, but here we are. After verbally degrading our only remaining companion, we head to the kitchen to find a way out, where we find a key to the truck in the other room, which I fumble with for 5 minutes trying to find the input because all my HUD's turned off. Our ineptitude at analyzing objects is put on full display as we return, as the fires quickly spread throughout the entire room.
Hey, what are you doing with Dad's truck?
Just need to commandeer it for a sec.
What exactly was the plan there?
Well, obviously to open away up these stairs here.
Grandpa, is that you?
Hey, wait! Hey, remember when he went on a murderous rampage 6 minutes ago? Are we really doing this?
He just missed his afternoon nap. Don't judge him.
We can either get a free cremation service, or continue living up here with me.
With you? I think I'll go with him.
God damn it! After a traumatic ordeal, we exit the burning building alone, and find a second medallion inside this cage, which is locked with a single flathead screw. We really went through all that when this could have been opened with a quarter. Jesus Christ. Opening the gate that started this mess, we witness a homicide take place and watch the murderer disappear into the tall grass as the bingo bell rings once again. We pay respects to the red goop that remains of the victim and begin heading in the same direction the strange figure meandered in. Bypassing Ozzy Osbourne, we place the 2 medallions we collected into this door, which opens the path forward into the castle. Inside this decrepit tunnel, we find a lever conveniently marked with yellow paint.
Well, that's interesting. Thought all the normies were dead. You must be pretty tough, huh?
When your villagers are dumb enough to have careers in politics, it's not hard to outlive them.
Oh, you're not blue-pilled.
Even better. Ah! You like BDSM, son? No. Oh, you will. What is this? Enter game night.
Both of you shut the fuck up!
Monopoly sounds good for game night, yeah?
Well, seeing as we all have Uno, that would be a far more appropriate choice than that archaic board game.
I don't have Uno, though.
You have Uno, dipshit. It came free with your Xbox.
I'm feeling Yahtzee personally, but first we must address the nuclear disappointment someone's brought into the room.
The man-thing is an atrocity to the eyes. He's better left to the normies in the village.
Watch it, Hazel. That's my second favorite hostage you're talking about.
I was referring to you, Hobbit boy.
Family game night can wait no longer. Have the outsider run the wipeout course so we can begin.
Let's see how based you really are. Ethan Winters.
Hey, wait a minute! Freed from our confinement, we flee from the incoming Chinese soldiers into these tunnels, where many more are waiting for a chance to nibble at our fingies. After a run-in with Santa Claus, we plummet down the most uncomfortable water slide in history. No water, no inner tube, only severe bruises on our ass and back. The final hurdle we're faced with is the legendary dual Play-Doh texture roller. With some quick thinking, we managed to avoid being turned into fresh American ground beef by this devious contraption. Now that our shackles have been fully removed, access to our entire inventory is granted once again, and we return to pull the lever that got us into this mess to begin with. Heading back outside, we take a breath of fresh air and admire the lovely wildlife of the castle's exterior, and soon come across a conspicuous looking carriage.
What's good, Brody? You trying to spot my last set?
Where are your clothes?
Clothes, dude. Not trying to hide these gains. That's some beta shit.
No socks either? Just letting the dogs wreak havoc out here?
Have a look around, bro. Could I interest you in some fish smothered in creatine? A pure compressed whey sausage link, maybe?
I'll just upgrade my weapons, thanks. After infusing our guns with steroids, we leave Duke Bro to blast his delts as we venture forward. Entering the castle, an interesting piece of artwork in the foyer sticks out. I can't tell if this image has been tampered with or not, honestly. Passing by more lovely paintings, we come across a strange tablet. Jesus Christ, cursive like this should be illegal. Oh no. Hey, what's your...
Well, Ethan Winters. I just went through a soul-crushing game of Monopoly thanks to you.
Did Boardwalk get you?
Baltic Avenue.
You're gonna need to buy affordable housing. God, would you chill with the fuck?
I'd give it a 5.
I think Hansel and Gretel are in the other room. They're probably more to your taste.
Quite the joke smith, aren't you, Ethan Winters? We'll see if you'll still be cracking jokes in the pecking chamber.
After restraining us to the ceiling, our captors all leave the room, one of whom prematurely unloads her hair mesh right before our eyes. Once alone, we free ourselves from these hooks in the most brutal way possible, and mend our wounds with the miracle of medicine. Before our escape, we take in some revolutionary artwork, then slip out through this fireplace. In the hall we were ambushed, 4 nude totems rise from the floor with keyholes where their heads would be. That's right, baby, it's fetch quest time. We head upstairs and place a missing eye into this sculpture door. After opening it, we're swarmed by bugs and treated to this disgusting animation. The swarm converges behind us, says this line, and begins blasting Bring Me to Life by Evanescence as it chases us down. We sprint towards the nearest escape route and plummet down this hole, as broken bones are preferable to being copyright claimed by UMG. Making our way through this new area, we crawl through this tight space to find... Oh, that doesn't bode well. A small torch puzzle later, and we find ourselves in the castle's dungeon, where we uncover the tortured souls that once resided in these luxury LA apartments. Towards the entrance of the dungeon, we're once again ambushed by one of the bug girls, who pushes us through some boards into this room. By firing our gun in a panic, we uncover this being's weakness, that being their crippling allergy to fresh air. With our attacker weakened, we finish him off with our now very effective handgun, and are suddenly assaulted while itching our nose after our victory. We pocket this strange item the creature dropped, and continue our journey through the castle. In the next room, we find ourselves a bottle of wine, which we use as a key upstairs to open this passage. What was stopping me from just putting any other bottle of wine in this room on this pedestal and opening this? Anyway, in this next room lies an actual key which we can use to open up the courtyard outside. Opening the doors to the next section of the castle, the sounds of 300% speed footsteps can be heard to our right, an unsettling hint at what's to come. After spending too long solving this statue puzzle, a pool of wine is drained to reveal stairs leading down into this cellar flooded with it. Do you know how much wine has to be spilled to get to this water level? Someone in this castle needs to be fired. We contaminate the floor wine further with the corpses of trick-or-treaters and take this elevator up, where a phone ringing can be heard. Before we can pick up, the Wicked Witch enters the room, and we duck down to eavesdrop on the phone call.
You've reached Dimitrescu Wine and Torture. Yes, we're open. No, I won't step on you. What rules are you referring to?
After she storms out of the room, we make entry and find a journal on this sofa. Its pages seem to be made up of a mysterious material that makes the strangest noise when flipping through them. We find a key hanging on the wall which we use to open—
Ethan, what curse these tiny fucking doors? My small business has suffered greatly because of you.
Is it really a small business when you work in a cafe?
We have 48 employees, man thing. Now sit and wait in the BDSM dungeon like a good boy.
We tank a 3-story fall like a champ and begin exploring this new area. After some wandering, we find another progression lever marked with yellow paint. Huh. We're once again ambushed in the pegging chamber by this Wumbo-sized hex girl, who brutally murders us at 200% speed in this room over and over until I consulted an astrophysicist who came to the conclusion that this segment is actually impossible at 200% speed, so we bumped down the multiplier peg. This made things marginally easier. Emphasis on the word marginally, by the way. On one attempt, we managed to grab our severed hand and head through the doorway, only to be mauled by this schmuck and brought down to a casual walking speed. Despite this, we make it to the bottom of the stairs and find a locked door, which we select the key for and are cut in half waiting for the door to actually unlock. Nice. Very cool. 32 attempts later, we make it to the same spot, only to be trolled by the same door, which refused to give me the prompt to open it. By the way, if I had a dime for every time this supersized bitch hit me through a solid fucking wall, I'd have $4. At this point, I'd lost track of how many times I'd juked her on this pillar, dodged this guy's axe, flicked this lever, baited Milfwitch over here to open this door, run through it and down the stairs to unlock this door to— Oh, hey, that was easy. We yoink this statue head and reattach our hand with the miracle of medicine on the way up this convenient elevator. Our break is quickly cut short at the top as a gaggle of trick-or-treaters are waiting for us to arrive. We dispose of each and every one of them for the torment they put us through in the pegging chamber. Heading back into the castle, we finally get a breather in the form of a piano interlude. After our 6-second break, the piano spits out a key for us and it's back to the grind. Heading up these stairs, we're greeted with some familiar footsteps and decide to take the scenic route instead. At the next door, we patiently wait for the key to finish unlocking. Inside this room, we're jump scared with more copyrighted music and threats against our life from this being of chaos. We air out the room and put an end to this obnoxious soundboard user with 31 rounds of God's caliber. After she crumbles to dust, we take this second strange box-shaped item, then head into the next room, where we ring these 5 bells to open this secret passage into the wall. What kind of— I'm done asking questions. We ascend this ladder, smoke check this guy taking a nap, and go outside just in time to see a flock of men elegantly flying over the castle. In this tower, we find an elevator providing access to the interior, so we head down to pay the Duke Bro a visit. Before entering the safe zone, a brief moment of unbridled fear washed over me, as the familiar sound of heavy footsteps and metallic scraping started gradually getting louder and louder, causing tremors throughout my entire body as I frantically opened the door.
Changed your mind about the creatine fish, am I right?
Nope. Here for weapons, dude.
Your beta energy is killing my vibe, dude. Could you, like, leave the room before you pollute the air anymore with your soy aura?
After making a purchase for the road ahead, we leave the shop to— Well, this isn't very fair, is it? We attempt to make an escape to the elevator, but our heavy footsteps alert the beast, and we're unable to escape her at our casual jogging pace. Which means we have to go through all that again because the game saves back here and not in the shop.
Dude, maybe you should hit up the elliptical for an hour or two.
Fuck off. Fuck you. Fuck your life. We make the same purchase a second time and stealthily make our way back to the elevator. Heading back up to the roof, we clear the area of these gargoyle creatures and grab the third of 4 statue heads needed for progression. We make our way back into the castle and are attacked by the third bug girl, who leads us right into the 200% speed witch, who quickly and brutally ends our life. On the next attempt, we're once again attacked and run in the right direction this time, grabbing the final statue head before being pushed into a fight against the final bug girl. Of course, we make quick work of her and begin making our way back to the main hall to use our keys. By some miracle of God, we somehow managed to get all the keys slotted without being interrupted. However, that didn't stop me from shitting bricks at the constant sound of footsteps during the process. Once through the doors, we head up these stairs and do some grave robbing. Don't mind if I borrow this, right?
You repulsive 8-fingered cabber!
After exchanging a British handshake with this disgruntled business owner, she suddenly mutates into a flying abomination and takes us on an economy class flight free of charge to the rooftop. Once at the top, our handgun would no doubt be ineffective against this massive foe, so we resort to the secret weapon we purchased at the Duke Bros shop, a Sega MCX Virtus fitted with a T1 sight that increases damage for some reason. We begin our battle by mag dumping this creature as it chases us in a circle. Eventually it takes to the skies where we completely beam its weak point until it staggers us and bashes a hole in the side of this tower. We flee up the stairs as the mutant plays various stale meme sound effects, and once at the top, we're knocked on our ass once more, and we put one final mag of 300 blackout into our weak spot. We're grabbed one last time and take a 12-story fall, breaking every single bone in our body upon impact, which should be an easy fix with one of our 7 bottles of isopropyl alcohol. The mutant Dimitrescu begins melting in front of our eyes, and finally, the Wicked Witch of Eastern Europe is dead. We gingerly step over the witch's crusty remains and find a flask of unknown origin on a pedestal, which opens a doorway when it's removed. Breaking into this next area, we do some fishing and make our way through this tunnel towards the sound of British mumbling behind this door.
Fuck's sake, there's a lock in the door for a reason, you fucking twat.
How'd you put a padlock on that door from the inside?
All the answers you have a water on this wall here.
Just looks like a boring engraved wall. Hey, where are you shuffling off to?
We
We grab the next key out of the shrine to Patrick's ass and continue down the tunnel, eventually making our way outside and clearing the path ahead of the resident Shrek creatures from their perches. Through the next doors, we spot a familiar set of grippers dangling from a carriage.
Oh, estrogen winners.
Not my name, dude. Too many syllables.
Well, it looks like you found your kid.
What? Hold up, I don't have a kid.
Well, the paternity test doesn't lie, Ethan. It says right there you're a dad. Kid's name is Rosemary Winters.
No, what? No, this isn't right. I've never even had sex.
Are you sure about that?
Shut up, dude.
It's time to take responsibility and collect the rest of your baby, Ethan.
What kind of twisted episode of the Maury Show is this?
You'll find a key or something over there somewhere. Now, can I get you anything? Creatine fish?
I'll be back. We return to the village once again and begin looking for information. Eventually, we make our way back to the doors of Oblivion, except this time everything is actually loaded in as intended. Well, this is boring. We grab a key item and continue our second stroll through the village, clearing out the Shrek-infested streets with our rifle. Oh hey, y'all remember this video? Yeah, I love that video. Such a wholesome little animation. We enter this man's home and upgrade our key-shaped object, then make our way back to the Duke Bro with our shiny new item.
Back already, dudelet?
Oh, you're out of creative names? Just cutting straight to the insults?
The lures of this joint have the rest of your baby limb jars, by the way. You gotta collect them all if you want to save her.
This is a f***ed up way of padding runtime.
Can you leave now, Tater Tot? My pump is fading the longer you're near me.
After being shooed away by our guide, we unlock the next door and begin our walk through this whimsical forest. Along the path, we're taunted by a ghostly vision of our child man and its mother. After some time, the visions fade and we enter this doorway, then take a convenient elevator up. Outside, we find a house that's been built right on the edge of a waterfall. Yeah, this seems not only remarkably safe, but excellent for your hearing. We venture inside the house and take this elevator down to the basement. At the end of these narrow halls, we find a room with a doll waiting for us in the middle. On our initial approach, when the lights flicker back on, we find that our quantum storage unit has been pickpocketed, and a strange mannequin lays on the table in front of us. Upon further examination... Oh. This is so f***ing scuffed. We disassemble this mannequin and find various tools stowed in its limbs, which we use to retrieve a set of tweezers from this music box and pull out a strip of film from this thing's mouth. We piece together this boring-ass movie, which was so dull even the projector screen fell asleep out of boredom. Entering the secret passage behind these bookshelves, we confiscate a pair of scissors from this doll and cut through these bandages into another hallway, where a phone begins to ring. Hello?
And goodbye to anyone standing in John Cena's way.
We return to the mannequin and... Oh, God. Oh, Christ. Control Z that shit, dude. After removing the medallion from this mess of polygons, we add it to this door and use the tried and true brute force method to open it. Once open, we head into the pitch black hallway as anyone would in this situation, and scale down this ladder to grab the key to the breaker box for the elevator back up. However, our journey back would be interrupted once again. We turn around to avoid being vored by the anime child and take a detour around it instead. Inside this breaker box, we find a puzzle piece for another door that we need to unlock to get a fuse to fix this thing. So we place the piece in this door and grab the fuse in this bedroom, which causes power in the area to cut out. As we head back to place the fuse, the child busts down the door and we're forced to reevaluate our escape route. Using the advanced technique known as hiding under the bed, we completely outsmart this stupid idiot child and leave it in the dust. We return to the breaker box and place the fuse, wait patiently for the elevator to arrive, and finally leave this jank-ass basement for good. Once upstairs, we find various unsettling dolls around the house, and in the foyer, we find the guardian of the next flask, who sicks her doll friends on us before floating out of the room. Beginning this scuffed game of hide and seek, we find our tormentor very easily, as her blue dress completely trivializes this section. After 3 rounds of finding this freak's mid-hiding spots, we stab its oversized head 3 times, and put an end to the second lord of the village. We grab the next part of our key-shaped object, as well as another one of our child's missing Lego pieces, and begin making our way back to the village. Upon returning to the Duke Bro, we sell our spoils of war and make another business purchase for future endeavors. Soon after opening the next area, we're given a crack fiend greeting and are mauled by this rabid homeless guy. We give him a right hook and flee into this house, where we put our MCX in fully semi-automatic and completely eviscerate our attacker, as well as the gas tube on our gun in the process. Walking through the area, we find this strange green substance all over the place, and utilize the power of homemade explosives to clear a way forward. We head inside this windmill and take the elevator down to the next area, which has some lovely colonies of mold growing everywhere. We follow the health hazards up these stairs and into this space, where we find another piece of our child. I'll be taking my kid's arms, thanks.
Please, you must help me.
I don't have time for your side quest, Quasimodo.
You don't understand. You should turn me into that thing again.
The hell are you talking about?
If I lose the flask, the goddess will take my polygons away, and I'll become some obscure Toho character.
I don't give a frog's fat ass, dude.
I can't go back. Never again. Never again.
We make a swift escape and grab a boat key from the Shreks guarding this shack, then head outside to the docks and begin a little voyage across this picturesque sludge-colored water. Before docking our vessel, a sea monster briefly breaks the water's surface, before disappearing back into the reservoir. Back on land, we then find a strange research station, with a questionable houseplant inside.
No, you.
What the f are you doing with that tentacle plant?
Hear me out, alright?
You shot my possible wife, I think.
Hey, boss, should we tell him?
Hey, y'all talking about me? I want to be a part of this. Damn, alright.
Why have you forsaken me to this man? I am bound to this wheelchair because of you. You will rule the day. You made me a paraplegic and a beggar.
The consequence of our actions falls back into the water and begins attacking the dock we stand on. We sprint up this bridge and leap to this cliff before the dock is completely destroyed. Up the hill, we find a house with a non-functional sluice gate control panel and begin our new quest for power. Back outside, we acquire some sustenance and head down this windmill's ladder at 160 BPM. We begin making our way across these rooftops and are once again reminded of the cosmic horror lurking in the water. Luckily, there are some very convenient levers here that open a path forwards for us. We then come across this long set of platforms which we cross at a walking pace, much to our fish friends' dismay. We make our way up to this second windmill and take this hand crank for future hand crank purposes. Climbing up the windmill's rotor, we make our great escape on this zip line and land unscathed where we started. Using our godlike upper body strength, we kickstart the windmill and restore power to the control panel. After tilting our head 90 degrees to input this color code, we open the sluice gates and begin draining the water from the reservoir. We head back outside to find a tortured soul waddling out of the water and over these rocks. Pursuing the creature, we're finally confronted on even ground with it. Faced off with this powerful foe, we equip our newest weapon, this beautiful Benelli M1014 that Is that a fucking magazine? We begin blasting our foe with this mechanically impossible shotgun, killing it as quickly as we can to spend as little time using this horrific weapon as possible. After a healthy dose of 12 gauge and shrapnel, the freak of nature unveils its inflation fetish before our very eyes.
I keep screaming, but God won't answer. Why?
We're presented with a boat of delicious sushi as a trophy, and walk into this tunnel, where we find another piece for our key-shaped object.
So you went and killed the fish sticks, huh?
Who is this?
Look at this meme, Ethan.
What?
You like that one? I stole it from Reddit. You'll find the last child flask in the DreamWorks stronghold outside the village. Go and get it. Then we can talk business.
After a phone call on this CRT, we open the next locked door and ascend the elevator back to the surface. Once we return to the village, we find a convenient path forwards, complete with yellow painted signs pointing us in the direction of this door. We open it and head through this sparsely decorated tunnel, and upon exiting, we're introduced to the enemies we'll be fighting for the foreseeable future, meth head shrimps. And what makes these enemies different from the ones we've been fighting? Well, not much visually, but they're twice as fast and kill you in one hit. After making it through the first section unscathed, we enter this set of doors into the Chamber of Puckering, where we're quickly killed on the first attempt to pass through. On the second attempt, we managed to blast our way through the onslaught of drug addicts in this room. It's really starting to stress me out not having a crosshair to aim with. We're thankfully given a chance to breathe through these doors at the top. We head down these stairs and through this crack in the wall, catching a view of the crack fiends getting their fix in the next room. Further down the tunnel, we're confronted with the drug dealer responsible for the absurd amount of illegal substances in circulation, as well as his entourage. However, a lethal dose of God's caliber was more than enough to put a stop to his drug operations. In the next room, I don't think that's how this room's supposed to look. We head down these stairs and find the final piece of our child next to another CRT, which will no doubt—
Well done, Ethan. Many strong men have died in the DreamWorks dungeon.
Why are you using CRTs to talk to me? I have a phone, dude.
One sec. Thanks for the follow, Meat Toboggan 86. Hope you enjoyed the stream.
Are you live on Twitch?
Insert the flasks into the altar. Then come see me. We have much to discuss.
After another Skype call with our secret admirer, we utilize our universal boat key and make our way to this ladder leading out of the DreamWorks dungeon. We head back to the altar and do as we're told, placing each of our child jars into these slots, then taking this giant stone chalice that conveniently fits into our pocket. You ever wonder what that extra little pocket in your jeans is for? It's actually a dimensional storage space specifically for stone chalices. Upon picking up our child chalice, the next door opens, and after using our crank to lower this bridge, we then hop in this boat and set sail to the next area. We then turn back upon realizing this voyage was a complete waste of time. After shamefully returning from our pointless side quest, we placed our child chalice into the second altar, causing this bridge to rise out of the water. The platform lowers us underground, and we walk across the bridge towards this factory, which conveniently opens its doors for us on our way in. Walking downstairs, we find a tarp covering up a strange collage of images from SpongeBob.
Home Invader system.
What? Oh, god damn it.
You're a massive hit on my stream, you know. You should have seen chat when you killed the Stephen Hawking fish.
Oh wow, glad your 9 viewers are enjoying the show.
We're #1 on just chatting, actually. You're ruining the vibe! Sorry. Have a seat in front of this hole. Wumbo Milfridge. Disabled mermaid and those little anime children. You can never keep track of them. There's always a few that are hiding in your walls, eating the support beams in your house.
Dude, what are you—
And that goddess. She has the whole village reciting Dr. Seuss books for divine protection. Even my chat's filled with their sins. What did I just say, Craig?
That's great and all, but how does this have anything to do with me?
You and me, Ethan. Together, we could become the next Aiden Ross and leave this brain rot hellscape in our gold-plated jet.
I don't care about your wannabe Twitch career, dude. Go back to your TikTok React stream alone.
Last chance. Unless you want to be mulchified.
What does that even mean?
You'll see.
Landing on our ass, we turn around and are introduced to Craig, and begin running for our lives to avoid being mulchified by the murderous oscillating fan. We eventually come to a dead end and take the plunge down this tube, then shatter our kneecaps upon landing on the sheet of metal. We begin making our way out of the heaps of trash, and after climbing to the top of this ladder, a group of average-sized enemies starts hobbling towards us. We dunk on these guys and continue forward into this vent. Climbing up another ladder, we open the hatch to find the source of Kurt Cobain's large viewership, a factory mass-producing viewbots for his stream. Making our way through this eerily lit hall, we find a door with an enemy not obeying the laws of physics waiting behind it for us. After taking care of him and his buddy, we find this machine being guarded by this 5'11" cyborg guy. We treat him to the old pipe bomb handgun combo and take his valuable remains, which are larger than his body. Further in the sector, we bypass this empty chair and find a mold for the machine we just liberated and begin heading back. However, on our way out, the chair guardian makes his presence known and we promptly blast him back on his ass. We're then introduced to another enemy whose weak point is irritatingly difficult to shoot without a crosshair. Christ, Ethan, your gun has sights on it for a reason. We return to the foundry and pour ourselves a relief to open the next doorway. After sabotaging some engines in this room, we find ourselves a second mold for the foundry, and on the way back, an enemy springs to life in this hallway. This had me nervous for a second because I thought this dude was going to be invisible. However, that anxiety faded immediately upon realizing that he was stuck in the ceiling. We pour out a cog at the foundry and restore power to the area. We unlock this AIM Labs door and find ourselves confronted with Craig again, which would be a much scarier situation if he weren't stuck in the floor. After cutting through the Viewbot factory once more, we find ourselves in a mine with a strange sound echoing through its caverns. Upon further investigation, we find the culprits of this racket, a trio of Viewbots who have ingested every stimulant in the known universe, mining away at the walls. We quietly bypass them as to not disturb their work and continue through the vents. Entering the grinder shaft, we're once again greeted by these assholes with the obnoxious weak spots. After disposing of them, we disable the grinder, allowing us to ascend to these doors, which lead us into this turbine room that we also disable by shooting a single round at the fan. God's caliber proving itself useful once again. We exit this area and grab another mold for the foundry. Oh my god. We backtrack to pour ourselves another key-shaped object, eviscerate another short king on our way back, and unlock the door at the top of the Viewbot factory. Inside, we're ambushed by Craig again. However, we're now able to fight back against this oscillating menace. This fight fucking sucked, by the way. Not only is his weak spot invisible, but his attack animations are completely chalked as well. These things in combination with my sleep-deprived brain caused us to be grinded into mulch on our first attempt, and the second, and third, and fourth. On the fifth attempt, we managed to survive his onslaught of attacks for long enough and pump an ample amount of lead into his invisible weak spot, causing Craig to finally stop charging and explode into a mess of parts. Raising ourselves to the next platform, we find ourselves at a set of locked doors and are then assaulted by metal objects.
Not bad, Ethan. I'm a little sad you rejected my collab, but Chad has 500,000 channel points bet against me, and I'm not letting you hijack my stream.
How'd you manage to make Viewbots that aren't even loyal to you?
Says the deadbeat dad can't count to 9.
We take a 300-foot fall down to the bottom of the factory. Luckily, there's a pool of waist-deep water at the bottom, which completely breaks our fall, and we're able to continue moving on. Clearing some rubble in the next room, we're disarmed and punched by the child who stole our man. We then have a very productive conversation.
This f***ing guardian. My hands have been through hell and back because of you. It's all her fault?
She's the one you're after.
Well then let's... Wait, what the f***?
We board this chariot of democracy and rise out of this factory to face Kurt Cobain head on. Speak of the devil, we begin our final confrontation with the king of just chatting, and fire no less than 1,579 rounds of 50 BMG, yes I counted, into his horrific metal body, until we're eventually thrown off our steed and sucked into this metal vortex. Luckily, we're able to mount our killdozer and deliver one final rocket to put an end to Kurt Cobain's viewbotting antics for good. After the fight, we get a call from Alpha on our phone.
Who is this?
Watch your tone with me, bitch.
That doesn't answer my question.
Caress me, father.
Is that...
Are you still not taking your pills?
I've been thriving without drugs in my system, thanks.
Ethan, you're missing 2 of your fingers.
Shut the... You're not even real! Show your face, you witch! Another one, dude? Give me a break.
So you killed all my little pog champs, huh?
Yeah, well maybe you shouldn't have abducted my kid then.
Oops, teehee.
Enough of your jokes! Where is she?
But does Rose even want you?
Didn't you threaten to throw her out a window?
That was out of context.
Quite sad, isn't he? So you just learned her name tonight?
It slipped my mind, alright?
Really? I'm just doing CPS's job for them.
You stuffed my kid's limbs into pickle jars. What kind of CPS agent are you?
Details, schmetails.
After being killed by our child's true kidnapper, our perspective shifts to a much more interesting situation. Now in the shoes of Nicotine Baby, we begin making our way towards the village with this very well-funded squad of soldiers. We scope out the village and watch an osprey get manhandled by this tree tentacle, and start moving down to finish the job Ethan started. Shooting our way through the streets, we find ourselves in front of this large growth, being guarded by hordes of Shreks. We pummel it with missiles in between short breaks to cull the horde. Eventually, the growth decides to give up after 3 Hellfire missiles being dumped into it and explode, leaving a large hole leading underground. We head inside the cavern where we're confronted with this armored behemoth, who we deal with accordingly for rudely halting our progression. Further in the cave, we find a massive pulsing lump of meat, likely the heart of the various anti-air tentacles in the area. We stick an explosive device to our bayonet and chuck it into the growth. Walking further into the cavern, we then find a colossal amount of lore in this room, then open the cell door, only to be attacked by a woman.
Well, it wasn't in that house. Where's Ethan? He can't be left unsupervised. He has a habit of losing fingers.
What? I'm not dead yet? Are you kidding me?
I know, right?
Are you God?
Well, there's no chance your 8-fingered ass would be going to heaven, so no.
Jeez, can I get some ketchup at least for these harsh browns you're serving up?
Take another crack at it.
Jesus?
Nope.
JFK?
No.
Cassie from 3rd grade?
Man, why would she ever talk to us?
I don't know, dude. Wait, don't f***ing tell me you're me.
Wow, 4th try. You want a Jolly Rancher?
Why are you a 9-year-old girl?
I don't know. You've got enough brain damage to be a FNAF protagonist, dude. You got your whole moral compass stomped out by that doe from Louisiana. And now I'm stuck here, watching the train wreck that is our life unfold.
Come on, it's not that bad.
You've openly insulted every single person you've interacted with in the village. Your body is literally rotting because of how toxic you are.
That's not...
Ask for the heaping pile of bummer that is your family with your side quest, Quasimodo. I don't care about your wannabe Twitch career, dude.
Oh, shit.
Maybe if you weren't a colossal ultra prick for a change, things might start going our way.
Oh, God. Morning, Chopstick. You hungry? There's some room temperature creatine fish back there, you know.
Alright, dude.
That's what's up.
After a hearty meal, we make one final business purchase before going to confront the goddess of the village. We then cross these routes leading to the last arena.
Last time, you wench! Give me back my kid!
This jackass again. You're polluting the air. Could you go back to being fertilizer?
Jimmy! What's good, Daddy?
Get off me, crazy!
Crazy. I was crazy once.
We begin our ultimate battle with Hestia, unveiling the ace up our sleeve for this fight. The extra large iron. The 16-inch barrel on this revolver proves quite effective against our opponent's various forms. After a trippy segment in the darkness, we're immobilized by moldy roots and begin pumping our Let's rephrase that. Begin cylinder dumping our foe until she finally begins withering away. The mold ceiling then crumbles to dust along with the goddess's corpse.
Dap me up, Daddy.
Don't think I'll ever get used to that. Oh, that's just great. Oh, hey, look, another weirdo to add to the pile. Oh, let's get this clown show on the road. I have no earthly idea what you're saying.
It's not much further.
I'll be a pile of dust in like 5 more steps here, dude. Look at that. You two really complete each other.
Get out.
Fucking freaks.
Maybe if you weren't a colossal ultra prick for a change, things might start going our way.
Crock of shit.
Before I wrap this up, I want to say a quick thanks to everyone who helped out with this video. So, Thank you to Nakomi for modding the Hestia model in game. Thank you to Mello for voicing Hestia in the video. Thank you to Chance8000 for making the art in the thumbnail. And thank you to Haley for voicing Dimitrescu in the video. Also, thank you to Tucker for entrusting me with an image of himself. Yeah, that was fucking stupid, dude. I've got links in the description if you want to throw some support their way. And of course, I appreciate everyone who's supporting the Patreon, which has another free video on Pal World if you want to watch that, by the way. And with all that said, thank you for watching. Oh, also thanks for 100k, guys. Appreciate that.